Okay, I'm not really sure if this is a live stream or just recording. So, I'm going to pretend that it's a live stream, but I guess it's not a live stream. I don't know. So, I do have a question for atheists, and I was holding this conversation with somebody. This might kind of put atheist on a weird kind of thing because I'm not a Christian, just to let you know. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Jew. I don't believe in the whole stuff like that. But you'll see. You'll see. Because this video is for atheists. I was having this conversation with my mother. My mother's passed. She no longer is alive. So, what we do with our time here on Earth. Because I declared myself an atheist in 2013, and I was a very angry atheist. I was very angry at a lot of people. I was angry at a lot of things. And of course, before I became an atheist, I was angry at just God and everything. And I asked myself some questions that you should be able to look through my other videos and look, unless they're set to private. And I think that the videos was 2012, 2013, somewhere around there, like God equals love, question mark is one of them. Another one was about Buddhism. Just a whole bunch of different questions that I went through and concluded for myself at that time, which I think I reviewed within the last 6 months. I went back and I looked at them and I said, oh, wow, look at all the conclusions I made and whatnot. So the question is, what do you do with your time and where do you place your value? So the discussion that I had with my mother evolved. I don't talk to my mother every day. Now, again, she's passed. She's not alive. So, I suppose there are some atheists that believe there's life after death, but I would say the majority of them do not believe in life after death because usually it goes hand in hand. If you believe in I don't like the word higher power. I'm just going to say that. I do not like the word higher power because I asked the question, how do you know the power that you believe in is not a higher power than you? It's just a different power that we don't understand yet and we have not discovered yet. And that's where this is going. That's where this discussion or this question is going. It's about discovery. It's about science. It's about proof. It's about exploration and spending the money on those things to find what Christians or people of faith believe in. And I am a person of faith too. So, no, I don't have proof that this God exists, but I don't really like calling it God. I like calling it universe, life force, cosmic heartbeat of life. Am I going to say that it was a God or a spirit that is better or bigger than me? Like a higher power? No. It's a different power that I do not understand yet. And we're not there yet. And it may be that different power may be discovered in 20 years. It may be discovered in 50 or 500. It may be discovered where we can fly there on spaceships like the Jetsons. And this is the discussion that I had with my mother. It started out as something different, but then it evolved because I was talking to my mom for 10, 15 minutes. And I said to my mom, wouldn't it be great if we can discover a planet and we can have a team like NASA, okay, like NASA, and a team of like 200 people. And the 200 people working on this team. And there's one team that's developed that's for like radio waves, right? And another team for like light, something having to do with light. So they got light. And then they have another team that's binary code and is zeros and ones, and all they do is decode binary code for messages that come in from other life forms that we haven't discovered yet. Wouldn't that be amazing? And you just different languages, right? So you got the Russians, and you got the Swahilis, and you got the the people from Madagascar, and you got the Spanish, and you Latin, and you got Arabic and Hebrew and English, and just all of these different people that speak all these different languages, because you're going to have to interpret if there's somebody that starts some alien life form and starts speaking in another tongue, right? So, but what if they give you binary code, where you're gonna have to have those people in like 5 or 3, that just are dedicated to that, and then radio waves, and then light, and there's many different ways. What about music? What if there's somebody that some life form that wants to communicate through music, and there's somebody that can decode music into English? I don't know how you do that, but I guess you can. Because the face and the every good boy does fine and everything, I'm sure you can put numbers to that, and then numbers equal letters. I mean, I'm sure you can do all that kind of stuff, okay? So, see how my mind works? It's crazy. It's nuts. It's fascinating. So, the conversation was, Mom, wouldn't it be awesome if we can have a team and have these teams divided up? You're the binary code team. You're this team. You're that team. You're the accounting team. You're this team, this team, this team, because you don't know how those aliens are going to try to communicate with us. You don't know. We have these little Jetsons, and they're drones, and we're flying them, and they're unmanned. And you go out now, and you look for, a planet. Most people call it heaven, but that's just because somebody or a group of people named it heaven in a book called the Bible. And I'm sure it might be called heaven in some other religious books too. But what if this is a real planet, a real place that we haven't discovered yet? And I know there's a thing called Planet X, and I'm not saying Planet X is heaven. Okay, I'm not saying that. But let's just make up a planet. Planet XYZ 123A. There you go. XYZ 123A. And we haven't discovered it yet. It's out there. What if 50 years from now, or 100 years, or 500 years from now, after years and years and millennial, centuries and centuries, and we spent all this money, and we finally and somebody on the ship says, and it could be in a different language, maybe our language evolves to telepathy. Who knows? I don't know. But somebody says, do you hear that? What is that noise? It sounds like celebrating, but it's not in English. Let's pretend, for argument's sake, that we're still speaking English, and we haven't really evolved all that much, which I highly doubt that would happen. I think we would evolve more in 500 years, but let's just say we haven't evolved much, and we're still speaking English, and we're not really using telepathy. We're still using our mouths a little bit, and we're still typing, like we're texting, we're still doing that, but we're not really using this. We're not doing telepathy, like, right? So let's just say somebody says, what is that? That doesn't sound like English. What is that? It's a different language, and you call the language people and say, can you decode what they're saying? They're speaking in another language. Can you please decode? And you got all these different teams that are trying to decode. And as you get closer and closer and closer, you have to apply I'm going to use the Bible. I'm sorry, Jews. I'm sorry, Muslims. I'm going to use the Bible. Okay, if I was in India, I would probably use some other book. So I am going to use the Bible in this. So, if according to the Bible, God is so bright, and he's so magnificent, and he's just so amazing, like, who was it? Moses that came off, or David, I think it was Moses, came down with the tablets, and he was shining so bright because he was with God. So, can you imagine just coming closer and closer and closer to this planet, but it's so bright, it blinds you. You just can't get that close to it because it's blinding. And there's somebody thought of making special sunglasses for this radiant light, so the people could come. Now I'm talking about drones, but what if the drones were specially made to where they're not going to melt by this special light, right? Because I'm thinking of the sun. So play on words, S-O-N, but S-U-N, okay? I'm thinking of both. So, somebody develops these special shades, and you send drones out, and then people go, oh, we gotta go, and we have this warp speed, just like Star Trek, just push a button and you travel real fast to, and you have the coordinates because the drone has the coordinates, and now there's manned ships. Can you imagine like the Jetsons going to this place, and you have a team of, I don't know, say 30, a team of 30, but there's 200 back at NASA at Florida. There's 200 on the ground in Earth. And they're listening and they're waiting and everything, and after all the drones are out and everything like that, you go, hear that? You hear that? And you just explore and explore and explore, and then you get binary code and you get this, and they're trying to communicate. Now, scientifically proving that there is something out there that resembles a Bible heaven. Okay, streets of gold and praising and light, that's magnificent light, and all the other stuff that I guess Christians can envision. There's a lot of stuff that Christians think what heaven is like, mostly from the book of Revelation, but can you imagine the amount of money poured into this whole thing that I'm talking about? Space exploration for the purposes of finding a heaven-type planet. I mean, wouldn't that be amazing if we can prove scientifically that heaven exists, even if you don't name it heaven? Remember, what did I say? Planet. What did I say? ABC 123A. That is the name that scientists give this new planet that they have discovered. It's way out there and blah, 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 blah. It's over here. It's way, way out there. We have to go way, way, way out there. And I'm not a scientist, so I'm not in was it astrology? Astronomy? I don't know which one it is, but it's an A word. Just space exploration, okay? Astronomy, not astrology. Astrology is the whole Aries and Cancer and Sagittarius and Capricorn and Gemini and all that. So, my question is all this shit that I'm talking about a waste of our time here on Earth? Because from what I know, because I spent a lot of time in 2012 and 13 and 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, that 7-year period, whatever it was, I spent a lot of time on the Atheist Experience, and I don't do that anymore. I don't go on the Atheist Experience. I don't really listen to a lot of atheist talk, but it seems to me the atheists pretty much want to help people where they're out now with their resources now. So they'll go out and they'll feed the homeless. They'll go out and donate some time or money to AIDS research or to cancer research, or maybe they'll donate something to, not really I'm the type of person that believes if you donate to a foundation like the Salvation Army, if you donate money, I'm talking about money, okay? I'm talking about the green stuff. It won't get to the people that need it. It will just get to the CEO. So I'm the type of person that believes if you really want to help people that are suffering, give them money. And if you don't trust them with the money, then you need to buy them a meal or buy them something that they can use. You gotta be careful, though. I mean, I remember one time buying a sandwich, it was a Subway sandwich, to a couple, and they hid a pizza in their shopping cart, and they didn't want me to see it. I came out 15 minutes later, because I got a Subway sandwich too, and this was 5 years ago, and I said to them, why did you say you were hungry if you got a half a pizza there? I don't understand. That's me wasting my money. So, you got to be really careful, because sometimes the homeless only want drugs or beer. And to me, that's not helping them in any way. That's not helping them get better. It's not helping them overcome their addiction. It's not addressing the reason why they're going to drugs. It's not addressing the reason why they're going to beer. It's just not helpful. And to me, atheists really, really they're humanitarians. They really want to help people where they're at and get them from point A to point B. So that could mean, do you need a ride to the store? Because obviously you have I don't know, maybe they have an elephantitis or something like that, or their legs are so swollen and their ankles are so swollen because they have diabetes and they're homeless and maybe they have food stamps or something. I don't know, but it's very hard for them to walk. So they say, "Do you need a ride? I'll give you a ride for free to the store." That is like love in action right there. Not, "I'll pray for you to get better, but I'll give you a ride for free. I can't give you money because I don't have any money, but I can give you a ride for free." So all that space exploration, looking for a planet called heaven, is it a waste of time? Is it just a waste of time to prove that heaven exists in a form of a planet? Because if we were to prove that this planet exists and it looks like the description given in the Bible, which is to me highly unlikely, because that is just a group of people's collective thoughts about what the end of life is. It's just a story. And Christians going to say, "Oh no, it's not just a story, it's truth." How do you know? How do you know? It's just, how do you know? Prove it. Prove to me that is real. You can't say, "Well, God wrote it." So what makes your religion more so than the Joseph Smith and the Mormons? And their guy wrote the Book of Mormon. So what makes yours any more better than the Buddhist text or the Hindu text? That's the beef that I have. So there you go. Want to know? I just want to know if there is a group of people out there looking for a planet that resembles heaven in the Book of Revelation. Is it a waste of time? Because you know what? We could be spending all that money on the homeless. We could be spending all that money building tiny homes that are no more than 500 square feet for a person that wants to live alone. And maybe, I don't know what their rent should be, but let's say their rent was, I don't know, $500 a month. $500 a month, $400 a month for 500 square feet. And if you're homeless, you might not have that much. I got a lot of stuff here. This is 490 square feet, and I got a lot of stuff here in this 490 square feet apartment. Believe me, and I'm still getting rid of stuff. And I would think that most homeless people wouldn't have this much stuff because you can't carry this much stuff with you. There's no way you can carry this much stuff. So a homeless person might need only, I would say, maybe 350 square feet at the most. 350. That's it. And there's a lot of money that you can put in to building tiny homes. I don't know why tiny homes cost so much money. They don't. They shouldn't cost so much money. But that's the question. Is it a waste of time to go up there to look for a planet that looks like heaven? Because I'm going to tell you, if it was discoverable, if it was out there and it was discovered, it doesn't matter what year it's discovered, in the year 2030, in the year 2121, there will be Christians that say, "See, that's where God is. That's where God is. That's God." Now the next step is, prove it to me that that's the God of the Bible. That's the next step. So, how do you know that this God of the Bible is just not a different power? How do you know it's a he? Because the Bible says, "Get your head out of your ass. Get your head out of your ass. You don't need your head in your ass." Stop it. Some man wrote that. And you know, at the time, women didn't have a say. Women didn't have a say at the time. So, of course, they're going to say, God, he, the pronoun he. Of course, it's going to be a he. Because look at the time that it was written. Look at the time. I mean, I don't know when the Old Testament was written. Long time ago. But I can guarantee you, women didn't have rights back then. They did not have rights. So, that's my question, and hope you're well, and I don't spend time looking for scientists that are trying to prove God, and I don't spend time looking for scientists that are trying to prove the reality or whatever fantasy or whatever it is of heaven. I don't spend the time because I believe my time on earth is limited. So I spend my time on QuickBooks and learning accounting and learning Microsoft Excel and learning Microsoft Outlook and Microsoft Word. And I just took those 3 tests, and one of them I got 69, but the other one I got 70 and 73. So, and the next step is take a QuickBooks class. Why? Because this is what I value. I value education. I value getting a job. I value getting a better job or bettering myself to where I can really help other people, specifically help business owners with their organization. So that's where I place my time. And I love the movie Contact. I love the movie Contact. That is such a fabulous movie because the woman is a scientist and she's like, I don't believe in God. I don't believe in this, da da da. And she goes in this thing and it doesn't move. And then she sees her dad, and then she, and the recording was 18 hours and there was nothing on it. There was nothing on the recording for 18 hours, just static for 18 hours. But I guess the time that elapsed was she was in this pod was 18 hours, and she found her dad and, all that. And it was just a fascinating movie because she comes from a non-theist, and I think she evolves into a little bit of a theist. She kind of believes, and it's just a fascinating movie. So, and think of the money that people put into that. That's the question. Where should the money go? Where does the money need to flow? That's my question.